box of old candy that just came in. Can't wait to get in here. And I actually have one more that I'll open on another day. So this is a very throwback type of live stream. This is one of my favorite things to do, is to buy a box. I'm up here opening this. Buy a box of old candy items, sort it out. Some of it I'll sell in my eBay store, and the rest I'll just keep. All right, so I'm just trying to get in this box here. It's kind of a weird one. Very weird. A second. This is a very strange lot. It had sort of a 70s vibe to it, at least how it was set up in the listing. But it also had some like newer stuff mixed in. It's very odd. And I noticed this person has a lot of different kinds of I don't know, toys and all kinds of stuff like that. By the way, this is filled with what looks to be like a bunch of dirty diapers, but this is tons of recycled bags. This might be kind of a pain to get into, but we'll see. All right, so the first bag we got to, we're going to open all this. Just a vanilla type of level of candy container, but very beloved. This is Crunchy Lunch by Tops, first released in the early 80s. And notice it's in a sunshine color. These came in 4 official colors, but they've also been found in a few other variants. And this is my favorite candy container of all time. It's Tops Garbage Candy. First released in 1976. Okay. This is going to be another one, it looks like. Yeah, this is orange. Orange is pretty rare. It was first seen in Series 2. The second time they made these, they released them in all new colors, they called it, and orange was one of them. This one has a popped lid on it. That's usually due to pressure inside the can. Like if these are perfectly sealed and put in the attic, sometimes they would pop. And that's actually, that's not a good thing. And then lastly, we have another sunshine yellow Tops candy container, but this is a garbage candy can. Not the best start in the world. To me it is, but there's a little bit better stuff in here. Should be. I've said this in other live streams, but if you have a bunch of candy to sell, do not put it in one lot. It's like a curse. For some reason, people do not touch big lots of candy, and that's the reason I've been able to build the garbage archive. I do the same thing over and over, where I get a bunch of, a lot of candy for cheap, and then I piece it out. This is really cool. I'm not used to getting candy boxes in like this. It's a Peter Paul coconut with mounds. But notice this doesn't say mounds as, so I'm not really sure. I guess this is some other candy bar they made. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I bought it. So it had more older stuff in it. Let's see. So first thing out of the gate is a Bazooka Joe card. I've never seen that before. Yeah, this is actually the first time I've ever held one of these. They're all over eBay. Apparently in the 70s, I guess the 80s, girls would make, I guess boys too, I don't know. Girls would make these bubblegum wrapper necklaces. And I see them all the time. I definitely love them. But this is the first time I've ever held one, because it was mixed in with this lot. Notice this is Lucky Stripe. Another thing I've seen people do is unravel these and get them for the wrappers. Sometimes there's rare gum wrappers mixed in. By the way, that's a Lifesaver bubblegum wrapper. So I might just do that. Beech nut. And I might just do that. Not to be an absolute goblin about it, but I might undo a few of them just to have for my collection. And maybe I might list one, but very cool. This was staring at me. This is very generic, but also kind of unsettling. Halloween candy. You can just tell by this is something maybe Oriental Trading Company. Yeah, Greenbrier International. They're a very generic kind of brand. Still happy to see it. There's another one, the garbage candy cans. Gray. Yeah, this came out, this first came out in Series 3. Series 3 is 1981. You can tell that, well, by the color, but also the base has a particular copyright on it. And there was 2 of these in there. These are actually beloved by a lot of people. I've sold these. I've probably sold 5 of these during my collecting career or whatever. They're very popular. Apparently people in the 90s remember these. I don't remember these, but they're rubber chicken pops. Now, one thing, they do come with different pops, and I've never seen the Tootsie Roll one. So I kind of actually want to say this is kind of a downer, because the other ones had a better lollipop in them. But still very cool. Rubber chicken pops. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. It had some older stuff in it. This is definitely hitting around the 70s. Yeah, this is definitely 70s. Maybe late 60s. This is definitely an early candy cigarettes. I want to say 70s. Yeah, 70s. Let's not get carried away. But very cool. Very cool. I'm definitely keeping that. Another 70s. Okay, this has some contents in it. Notice how ballsy they were. They literally copied the brand. This is not a parody of Marlboro. It's literally, and this is the size of a Marlboro 100s. I know that because I used to smoke them back in the 90s. But yeah, let's get this baby opened up. Notice how I'm just I'm perking out one edge of this, because every time you perk an edge, it's going to catch here. So you got to be very careful opening vintage boxes. But that is my recommendation, is to perk up one edge and then to carefully get it past that little flap. Now this one has damage on it, so someone's been kind of rough with it. But yeah, you just get one edge open, and then you have to kind of work this around the flap so you don't tear it. And it's going to be just filled with, okay, you can't see it, I can, but yeah, candy cigarettes. That's very cool. That is very, very cool. There is a whole genre of collectors that only collect candy cigarettes. Did you know that? And they're actually pretty venomous on the market. If you have something they don't, they come out of the woodwork. It's very odd. And there's some other subcategories of collectors in the candy world too. But just so you know, there's actually candy cigarette only collectors out there. And certainly Pez has its own crazy market. Now, I consider Pez toys, which isn't a bad thing, obviously, but still, I don't consider this candy. I mean, this is candy, but like Pez, that to me, that's a toy category. That's just what I tell myself to help me sleep at night. So, because I know if I ever collected Pez, I'd probably lose my marriage. I know how I am. Damn, I thought this was going to be a box. This is just this goes on the shelf. I don't think they denoted this in the listing. That's a bummer. Now, there's some value here, but I don't collect a bunch of metal shit. Yeah, this is going to be the store shelf thingy. I don't know what they're called. Little signs. Wow, it sure did look like a box. That's a bummer. That would have been over $100 for that box. I would have kept it, though. This was interesting. Wow. This is probably the best thing in the box. This is an extremely obscure, extremely rare, possibly 70s Japanese candy container. We'll have to do some research. We got a logo here. patent pending in English, interestingly. But it's by Kavava. Looks like this could be Korean. Honestly, I don't know. Extremely obscure and rare. That's crazy. That's a crazy piece. Plus, it's a crazy sculpt. I've never seen this sculpt in any type of way. Good size too. It's not too big. It's a good candy container size. Great piece. Let's go ahead and look at this real quick. Okay, so this is going to be with Lifesavers. What you do is you look at who made it. Sometimes they're made by Planters Peanuts. Sometimes they're Nabisco. And right now I'm spacing on which one's the old one, which one's the new one. I want to just say, if I had to guess, this is probably 90s. But it could be 80s. And then the last piece here is a Party Mate candy box. Has some damage, but that's okay. Notice it's foreign. Made by the same brand as that triangle thing. Kabava Incorporation. If I told you to find me a 70s Japanese vintage candy, where would you find it? You know, if you go on Yahoo Japan and look up vintage candy, and I do have searches for that, it's so skeletal. There's nothing. And the chances of ever finding another Party Mate or whatever this is, looks like to be sort of like malted eggs to me, like a Whoppers candy of sorts. You're just not going to find it. Doesn't mean this is worth $1 million, but as a candy collector, this is probably the last time I'll ever not only hold one, but ever see one. And this thing, forget about it. This is probably the first time this has been seen on the internet ever. That's some of the magic about collecting this stuff. Some of it is so obscure because, you know, you're supposed to eat it and throw it away. Why would anyone keep... I get why a kid would keep this, but why would you keep any of this crap? So, guys, in the summary, opened a really nice lot. It leans to the older side. Definitely a lot of great age, a lot of 70s. There's some gems in this, by the way. There's fruit stripes. But anyway, we've got this miscellaneous tops, some rubber chickens from the 90s randomly, some 70s. I want to say these are 70s, if not early 80s, maybe Korean. I'm leaning towards Korea on those. Not sure, though. Got some candy cigarettes. One of them is full, which is crazy. Got a Pez that I kind of slept on. You know, Pez was heavily collected. There's a chance that this could have a little value, but likely it's not valuable at all. And they are dateable, even though they don't come with dates. And there's people that collect Pez candy refills like this. And then this guy, and then this guy. And the box itself was pretty cool. Actually, in really good condition. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Like I said, I got another box of another candy lot that's coming in. So I'll share that when it gets here. I hope to see you guys around. Russ Fan out.